if you've been watching the Aku anime, I've been playing the same game in the background for maybe 3 months now, and I, mean, I think longer. And I've said this before. I record my gameplay footage months beforehand. Like this footage was recorded in maybe December of last year. It's almost February. I posted this on my Instagram story the other day. Basically, I actually recorded hours upon hours of footage of this Pokemon Fire Red ROM hack. And I was excited to put it in the gameplay in the background after I finished this current game. Come to find out, I just looked it up because I was wondering why nobody really do this. No, Nintendo apparently puts out copyright strikes or claims on people who use ROM hacks. Though I do see some YouTubers doing it, like they're getting away with it. Just because they're doing it, I don't listen. I don't want to be put in a bad situation where I know I'll upload some footage, right, and then like I'll do that for multiple videos, and all of them get copyright claimed. You know what I'm saying? I just is it worth it? No. Anyway, if you ever see me play Pokemon, I always play Psychics, and I think I beat most Pokemon games besides the new ones with Mono Psychic. Why? I don't know. It's just been my thing. I guess I'm a Psychic type gym leader, right? So since I haven't played Pokemon in so long, I went on Bulbapedia, whatever it's called, right? Funny name. And I was looking up the new Pokemon, the moves, and who got added to the list of psychic type trainers out there so I can get some inspiration. Bruh, I completely forgot how messed up the Pokemon universe is, because I see y'all simping over these characters and making wild images and art of these characters doing crazy things that I can't explain. I can't use these keywords on YouTube because these characters be like 12 years old, cuz. And that's like an anime thing. All these characters are extremely young. And I was like, wait, just a side note. Yu-Gi-Oh! Having hologram duel monsters and dual disc working, if properly funded and technology goes far, I could see this being a real thing, like actual like duels looking like this, right? Where it works really well. You know, technology just needs to go far. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are already expensive, has a huge market, right? Pokemon is completely unrealistic under any circumstance. Isn't like the Pokemon Macargo 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit? That's higher than the sun. This dude is dangerous. So my point is, going back, I feel like anime and fiction in general can influence people or how people perceive certain things as appropriate, even when they exist solely in a fictional world. Yes, I understand. Pokemon is just a game. It's just fiction. But anime often portrays young characters like 10-year-old Ash Ketchum and 12-year-old May in a way that sometimes leads people to view them through an adult lens, which feels that's a little bit unsettling. I think this is an issue with anime overall because it normalizes the idea of young characters being placed in adult situations, whether it's through their independence, their behavior, or in some cases, how they're drawn or portrayed. The same applies to how certain animes or anime depict young female characters, especially in a series where they're clearly designed to look like children, but they're treated in an adult way. Whether it's through their behavior, the way they speak, or even how they're dressed, the show itself frames them in a way that makes them, to a lot of people, these people find it appealing. Like appealing in terms of like attractiveness. And this is where the problem starts. The excuse is often, oh, they're actually 500 years old, this character, or, oh, they're just mature for their age. But hey, yo, that doesn't change the fact that they're drawn and written to resemble actual kids. You know, this blurs the line between fiction and reality for some people, making them view these characters in an adult lens. And in turn, I feel like this is where people start normalizing their attraction to childlike figures. I have a theory, because you might think I'm reaching a little bit, because I don't think everyone who watches anime, this topic applies to them, right? I feel like the way how a lot of anime presents young characters, some of them wearing provocative outfits, and even in suggestive situations where it's just not appropriate for their apparent age, right? I feel like this stuff has invited people to turn it into something more, because when they're wearing these outfits or are in appropriate situations for their age, yet the anime is further putting them in other adult situations, it encourages certain people. I think this is how some people end up being attracted to this stuff. When the anime shows suggestive angles, overly revealing outfits, or how characters interact with them, it's a clear effort by whoever wrote the script here. See, there's a difference between a petite or tiny character versus an actual character portrayed or designed to look and act like a child. They got these characters designed that way. And like I mentioned, these characters designed that way, they end up in suggestive angles or interactions, because my theory is that these depictions exist to appeal to a certain group of viewers, whether the industry admits it or not. There's a clear pattern in how these characters are created. They have the appearance, the voice, and the mannerisms of children, yet they're placed in situations that would normally be reserved for adult characters. That's not just artistic choice. It's a deliberate attempt to cater to a specific audience. The argument I mentioned earlier about how some people justify it by saying like, oh, she's actually 500 years old, or she's of age, she's just in a small body type. Like it's honestly not a valid excuse. At the end of the day, regardless of what the story claims, the character is still drawn, written, and framed as a child. Changing the lore around them or giving them an arbitrary age doesn't erase the fact about how they're designed to be very specific, and I think they're doing it for a concerning demographic. It's a loophole used to justify these portrayals while avoiding criticism at the same time. And the problem is, because this defense is so common, it becomes easier for people to brush it off. They argue that, and I said this too about Pokemon, right, just a moment ago, and how, like, because you may think I'm being hypocritical here about how I said, like, Ash Ketchum, a 10-year-old literally traveling the world and living somewhat independent, as if there's no real life consequences to him being young. The world treats it like it's normal, even though a kid that age should not be traveling alone like that, and let alone take on the challenges, right? So they argue, and again, I made this point about how, oh, it's just fiction, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's not real. But fiction influences perception, whether people realize it or not. Sorry to go down this rabbit hole, but would you consider the same for religion? Many people think religious stories are fiction, right? I think stories are exaggerated in the Bible, for example, and not to be taken literally, but people take it anyway, right? But doesn't fiction or allegory or any other piece of expression, fictional expression, not influence perception of people? The fact that this kind of content continues to thrive in the anime industry shows that there's a demand for it. And if there's a demand, that means there are people who actively seek it out and enjoy it. That's what makes it a little bit weird to me. It's not just about individual characters, but the broader trend of how young looking characters are treated in an anime as a whole. And when you take a step back and really look at it, it becomes harder to ignore just how much the industry caters to this kind of attraction. It's funny that I'm talking about all this because of Pokemon, right? And me just wanting to play. And this is what I'm trying to really drive home, though. If you like anime, if you enjoy playing games, and a character just happens to look a certain way, then it is what it is. There's nothing inherently wrong with liking a show or a game. Even if you enjoy the writing of the characters, you might just like the style of the character too. The theory and idea I'm bringing up is when it turns into something more, when people start actively lusting over these childlike built characters, creating content around them and openly expressing attraction to them, that's when it becomes uncomfortable. It stops being just about enjoying a piece of media, and it crosses into something that feels off. Again, fiction influences perception. And I want to make it clear, I'm not saying it's wrong to have an anime avatar or something like that. I don't know if you hear my dog snoring in the background, my bad. Listen, I'm doing this video one take, right? There are plenty of people who just appreciate the storytelling of a character, the art style. Not in a lustful way, of course. Or maybe you actually like the culture surrounding a character. Everyone is allowed to enjoy characters in a show or a game. Anime as a whole is it's a wide range of things, right? Amazing stories, deep character development, and so forth. I just think there's a weird side of the industry that exists, and people have normalized those certain spaces. You know what really annoys me? And anyone who watches anime, and you openly say that you watch anime, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. This side of the industry has become so notorious that for some reason, people have to constantly explain, hey, I like anime, but not that kind of anime, not in that way. And like you had to constantly explain yourself. Just because a fandom takes things too far, people like, you know, you watch anime, people automatically assume things out of you, or you're a part of the weird side of the industry. You know, I think people need to be more aware of the media they consume in this case. If you find yourself constantly justifying or making excuses for your attraction to childlike characters because it's just fiction, or whatever excuse you may make, I think you might need to take a moment and think about, why is that the case? Remember, like 10 years ago, I never understood this, right? I could never say her name right, okay? Only the super old Aqua anime followers remember this, right? But there was a challenge I failed. We had a dare going on. I forgot what it was. I think if a video got a certain amount of likes, I was trying to be funny. I said, if I got a certain amount of likes or something, I don't know what it was, okay? Whatever. Okay, so I said that whatever the condition was, I said I would get an anime body pillow, where I ended up getting, I can't say her name right, Mega Man, whatever, right? Mega Mium body pillow, bruh. I still don't understand why y'all are so attracted to it. Like, when I got the pillow and I made the video like, Joe, oh, look, I got the pillow, guys. Like, people were writing like these weird, like, what is it that makes people, like, people were saying like they're jealous of me. Like, what is it that makes people go, yeah, I unironically need a full-size pillow of this. I had the pillow, sure. All I did was let my dog sleep on it and use it as a footrest while I'm on the computer. It was literally on the floor, and I would just step on it, just like relax while I'm like coding or something. Then eventually I tossed it in the dumpster, because why do I need this here, bruh? Honestly, I just don't get it. I see people obsessing over characters like Mega Mium or similar ones in other anime, right? I just don't understand the appeal. She got that whole explosion magic gimmick, and it's a fun character. Y'all, I never watched anime, so I don't really know, but that's it. I don't see how people take that and turn it into something they're attracted to. It's like anime has conditioned certain people to look at these young, small body characters in an adult way, and my brain just not register anything attractive about that. I guess that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I feel like this whole video, I feel like I'm shaming people, bro. Like, but I'm just looking at it from another perspective. Like, I feel like the industry has a weird side to it, you know? And I feel like people are making characters that appeal to that side because they know there's a demographic to it. I just don't know. Okay, I just don't find it attractive, personally speaking, right? The pillow was expensive, by the way, okay? So never get an anime body pillow, right? Anyway, what do y'all think about this? Let me know down below. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. Times Square.
Nightmare 7 a.m. in the morning though. No surprise. Times Square's you and I under those lights. No disguise. Don't tell me everything you wanted was a lie. All those city lights, it's an endless night. Never expected you to bring me so much life. Close my eyes too long, then it's time to say goodbye. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Caution. Wait a moment, keep my heart locked away, it's filled with emotion. Gave the key to you, right in front of you is open. Hey, try your best to not leave it broken. Oh, it's been a while since you know it's frozen. Not the